Hi everyone, in this video I am going to explain about ALV reports. ALVs are ABAP list viewers. In ALVs we have different types: classical ALVs, grid ALVs and hierarchical ALVs. Classical ALVs and grid ALVs are almost similar except the way it actually displays. Other than the output, the processing and the procedure for both the ALVs are exactly similar. Hierarchical ALVs are a different kind where the data is maintained or displayed with parent-child relation. Means if you have a header data, if you expand it, the item data will be displayed. Like this, hierarchical ALVs will be maintained. In hierarchical ALVs, we have two different types: tree ALVs and classical hierarchical ALVs. In this video, I am going to discuss about grid ALV by using reuse ALV grid display function module. The reason I took grid ALVs is because in the real-time projects or in real-time scenarios, many reports will be developing based on grid ALVs only because of its features and flexibility and look and feel. So I have developed a small program to explain about the grid ALVs in a different way. For this, in my program I have declared few variables and few types. This is the type with material group, material type, unit of measurement and quantity, and one checkbox. So I am going to explain about this checkbox later. So for the current purpose I am simply commenting it. Next, I have declared one internal table with type of MARA table and another internal table with type of TY Mara, which we defined here. Then field catalog to display the grid, and layout, sort internal table, events and header to display header in ALV grid. Then in start of selection, which is very simple logic I took because mainly we are dealing with ALVs, how the ALVs are displayed and what are the necessary parameters that we need to pass. So I did not concentrate on logic, but as I told you, we declared two internal tables. One is complete MARA table, so for that I am filling this table with 100 rows, and in another types internal table we declared with 5 fields, where 4 fields I am getting it from MARA table and quantity field I am filling it here as some value. We do not worry about it. I took this quantity field because to show totals and subtotals in the ALV. In end of selection, we are displaying the ALV grid. So before jumping into displaying, I want to explain a small concept which actually helps to understand the grid. So I want to explain with this a real-time small example, a real world small example, which is I feel that which is similar to displaying a field catalog. Let us take example of building a house. For building a house, we need a plot, means we need a place. Think that it is a layout in terms of ALV grid. Think that this is a plot and call this as a layout. In general terms also we will be calling layout for building a place. Then after we have the place, then we need a plan to place or the rooms inside the house. Means like we need a kitchen here and think that a bedroom or something, and we need some rooms here, and we need rooms in particular places. Likewise, in ALV grid, this plan we will call as a field catalog. This will the real-time house example we can call as a room catalog. Think that it's a room catalog, means where to place the rooms and what are the properties of the rooms, what are the types of the rooms. In the ALVs, we call it as a field catalog because we are placing the fields. So simulate your fields with the rooms. So this is field 1, field 2, etc. Field 3. Now, if you see, every room in the house can have different colors, can have different shape, can be different type. Same in ALVs also, each field can have different properties, can have different types. Like every room can have different color. Here in ALVs also we can color entire field with a different color, and another field with one more color, like this. What you need to understand here is the field level properties can be maintained at field catalog. Means we need to pass field level properties, means complete column. This field in the sense a complete column in the grid. This column level properties through field catalog. And if you want complete layout properties, then we need to pass through layout. This layout will hand overall area of the grid. If you want field specific, then we need to pass the values in the field catalog. Like in, for example, in layout we can pass zebra equals to X. This will mark first row as a normal and second row with a gray, as we can see like this in the report. Alternative rows are colored. Means this will apply for a complete output, not for individual fields, individual columns. But if you want column level settings, then you need to pass that property at field catalog. Why I am saying this is, you need to know how to control field level and where to control field level properties, where to control layout level properties. Next, think that we have placed the columns, means in our real-time example we have built the rooms. Next thing is providing actions to it, in the sense in the rooms we can have switches, we can have fans to switch on. So switches are nothing but actions in the rooms. In our grid we call it as events. Means if user is doing some action in the layout, then that has to be handled. Likewise in the rooms, if we have switches, if you switch on that, something has to be happen. Likewise in grid, if we need any actions, so we need to handle it through events. Means we can capture the actions through events. So this is a very basic example which I feel that very similar to grid display. So this you need to understand in such a way that whenever you are building it, so you should be able to differentiate. Okay, if customer asks any requirement of doing I want a column to be editable, I want column in the values to be in hotspot. So what are those? Those are column specific. So column specific parameters we need to look in field catalog. If anything he's asking about layout kind of thing, means I want to save the layout or something, I want to mark display as a zebra, something like that, I want to optimize complete ALV grid, then it's a complete layout level. So we need to look in a layout structure that any parameter which helps us. So hope this is a clear. Now let us put this in the program. See, for building a house, room plan is mandatory. Likewise, for displaying a grid, field catalog is mandatory. Without that, system doesn't know where to place the fields, where to display the fields. So now let us come here. Now I'll explain how many ways we can actually display the grid. As I told you, field catalog is mandatory for displaying the grid or displaying the ALVs. In that, in grid display function module, we have an option. If we have any database structure or database table which is created in data dictionary, then we can pass that structure name directly to this function module. Inside this function module, it has a logic to get the fields from the data dictionary and their properties, and it will build the field catalog inside. But in real cases, not for all the programs we will be creating a tables or structures. So for many programs we will be defining a custom or internal types in the program and we will be displaying it. So think that this is one way to display it. Let us see how actually it works. As I told you, IT MARA is a type MARA and I am passing MARA. So this field catalog will be by passing the structure or table name, it will automatically fill it. And understand this structure name, whatever the fields are there here, that same field names has to be there in the internal table, else it will go to dump, because whatever the plan we are passing, whatever the fields through field catalog we are passing, those fields are not available in the internal table, so I cannot display, so it will go to dump. So this is keep this in mind. So let's execute this. Yes, if you see here, complete table is displaying here. So this is one way of displaying the ALV grid. If and only if there is a structure of the internal table or there is a type of table in the data dictionary of internal table type. This is the easiest way, and here I am not adding any functionalities here, simply displaying it. In the next I'll explain. This is the direct way of passing the structure. Now I'll explain about in how many ways we can actually build the field catalog. We can build the field catalog in three ways. One is automatic, next one is semi-automatic, third one is manual. In automatic process, we will be using reuse ALV display function module to get field catalog automatically. So this function module will help us in building the field catalog. Let us take this example. I am building a field catalog here and I am not passing structure, I am passing this field catalog. So let's keep a breakpoint here and execute. Here, whatever the structure name we are passing, it should be of database table name or a structure. Then if we execute this function module in the field catalog, all the fields would be coming, like with all properties. It will pick up from the database itself. If you see all the fields and column positions and like descriptions, column labels, and all the field properties, etc. Now this is one way of building a field catalog completely, and I'm simply passing the field catalog here. That will be displayed as output, which is exactly similar as previous approach, because we are displaying the complete table fields. Now this is an automatic approach. In the semi-automatic, in the sense, we would be getting the values from field catalog internal table, then we will be modifying the fields after we are getting it. Like as we have seen in previous output, the material number, everything will be displayed normal because there is no additional attributes or functions we have given it to the field level. Blindly we are displaying similar thing in the report. Now if we want to set any additional attributes, then we can use semi-automatic. Means this is another approach of building it. So first I got all the values into the field catalog, then I am modifying individual fields, and then I am passing it to the internal table, passing it to the function module. So here I am modifying material field name, the attributes of hotspots, I am activating it. So execute. If you see here, the hotspot is activated. So likewise, if you have multiple fields, keep multiple conditions in the loop and modify it. That is a semi-automatic. Now manual. In the manual process, we will be building the field catalog by passing the values. For this purpose, I took another internal table and we filled it there, and here I am building the field catalog. So I am simply commenting this because I'll explain about this checkboxes in the next video. In the next video we'll discuss about interactive ALVs, because if we understand how the ALVs actually works, then we can go to the next step. So we have different fields, material, material group, material type. So for field catalog, what are the mandatory fields that we must pass? First one is field name is a mandatory parameter that we need to pass, and the field name whatever you are giving here should be in uppercase, and this field has to be there in the internal table which we want to display. Next, column position. Column position is not a mandatory field, it is an optional field, and even though you did not pass column position, it will work because it will take the way you appended the data into the field catalog. Means first you appended material number, next material group, in the same way it will display it. Next, cell text, selection text, in the sense this is a column text. When the column width is more, this will be displayed. It is medium, this will be displayed. When it's small, this text will be displayed. Example, if it has material number in SAP, thing like this. Okay, like this it will be displayed. Next, we have so many parameters, we have so many options in the field catalog. We need to go inside of it and see what are the parameters are there. Like we have a hotspot we can set, because it's a column level setting. If you want to activate hotspot to the particular column, then we will be setting it field catalog level. So hotspot and editable, if you want to make complete column editable, then we can use edit equals to x. Like this, there will be so many parameters. Next, so if you observe, I am passing only these parameters for all the fields. If I want extra any additional attributes to pass, then I am passing it there. And output length, if you do not, this is a one way to increase the column width in the layout for display purpose. If you do not pass it based on the data, it will be adjusted, no problem, because Grid ALV has so many features. Next, quantity. The last field is quantity. In this, generally in real-time cases, quantity and currency fields, the user would expect to see the totals and subtotals. So for totals, I am passing do sum equals text. By this, the sum of the total value will be displayed. So I took another grid function module. In this thing that we are not covering this pf status user command, this sort also sort, I'll explain in this video itself. I'm passing field catalog and I'm passing data and execute. If you see here, hotspot is activated and this is a quantity field. If you are seeing some symbol here, if you go down, the total value will be there. So this is how we need to activate, do the totals. Then here we have so many options in ALV Grid. See sorting, sort up, sort down, filter, sum, subtotals, preview. And if we want to sort, and if you want subtotals based on the material group, some kind of thing, then select this column and click on subtotal. By this material group will be sorted and subtotals will be displayed for each material group. If you see here 004, 4 values are there, and after the subtotal the value is displayed there. Likewise, if you want to automate this, means if user is expecting it to be displayed whenever the output is displayed, I do not want to do any action, I don't want to sort it. By default, I want this subtotal has to be displayed. For that purpose, to achieve that, in grid we have a parameter. It's actually internal table, but it's in a parameter. It is of type table type. This internal table we need to fill with what field we want it to sort and how you want it to sort. In the sense, you want it to do ascending or descending, and if you want subtotals for that or not. If you want subtotals, then mark it as X, and I want to sort up, in the sense ascending. So activate it. I am passing material group here because as I shown you in the output, I did it for material group, so I just want to show that. So in material group, in this internal table, what we need to fill is the field name. So what field in the output you want it to sort, and do you want to sort ascending or descending? Sort up means ascending, down means descending. Then you want subtotals. These subtotals will work if you pass do sum in the field catalog. So activate it, execute it. If you see this, by default the sorting and subtotals has come. Likewise, you can activate for multiple fields. Here I am passing material type wise also. So these two fields will be sorted and subtotals will happen. Here if you see, I pass it down, sort down means descending. Material group value is 0, so in ascending it is started from space. Material type, if you observe, it is started from V and it end till D, I think. D, because for this material group this many number of values are there and it is sorted down, so this is how it actually sorted it, and the subtotals will be displayed. So this is how we can activate totals and subtotals in the grid. Now, layout properties, we can pass it with inside the layout structure. If you see, there will be so many options. Let us actually activate column width optimization, means extra spaces will be removed from the output. Means if the column complete value is less than 10 characters, but if we have set it to 30 or 40, then that extra space will be removed. I am commenting this sort because we'll see the layout level properties. And what else we have? We have zebra. So these are layout level properties. So this will set for the complete layout. This is not applied here because we filled this layout but we did not pass it to the function module. Layout equals to work area layout. And if you see, the row colors, alternative colors are different, and the output, see, the grid size is reduced based on the data. And if you see the column labels, material GPV has given it for small, and in the medium GRP has come, in the big group will be coming. Likewise, material number in SAP. So like this we can actually do it. And if you see here, we do not have an option to save the layout. In ALV we have an option that if we want to hide a few fields, columns, then simply go to the layout, material group, move this to right side. So this will temporarily hide in the layout. If you want to save that layout, then here it is actually not there. The reason is, in the input, if we pass I say equals to x parameter, then it will show the options to save the layout. In real time we can transport the layout. As you can see, there are two more extra buttons has come. These two are to save and change, select the layouts. In the real time we can actually transport these layouts through different systems also. So in this video we have seen how to display the ALV grid and where to look for what kind of properties. Means field level properties we need to look at field catalog, layout level properties we need to look at layout structure and sorting, and some overview of saving this layouts and something like that. And this has so many other features. If you understand this video, then you can look in the function module to get the knowledge of it. In the next video I am going to explain about interactive ALVs, and also I'll be showing top of page and how to set our custom PF status and how to add a custom buttons in the application toolbar and how to do the interactive events. Thank you. If you have any doubts, please comment below. This video, my expectation of this video is to understand the concept of ALV grid, what is necessary and to display the ALV grid. And this ALV grid and classical grid are most similar, only the function model will be different, the way of output will looks different. Thank you.